Thank you, you guys, for making the time. I'm joined with Devin Weber, CEO, and Jeremy Vest, CMO of Braille Skateboarding. And there is so much buzz about Braille Skateboarding. We've got so much to cover. But before we dive into all that, I want to say thank you for taking the time. Let's get into the weeds of how Braille Skateboarding came to be. And either of you can take this. And
all right. Well, I'll tell that story since I knew Aaron before he even started Braille Skateboarding. And I'm actually the person who told him that his idea was horrible and he would never make any money at it. So I'm still just constantly atoning for that to him. But Aaron he went to San Francisco to become a pro skateboarder, didn't make it, budget cuts, recession, cut from the team. And he had spent all this time creating a video part. And he was like, great, here's hundreds of hours of my life I'm going to throw away. And there was this crazy new thing called YouTube. And so he uploaded the footage to YouTube, which at that time was the equivalent of throwing it in the garbage. And he checked on it in a few weeks and had 300,000 views. And he thought, wow, that's more views than I would have gotten even if my skate shop would have released a VHS of me. So that kind of got the idea going, but no one was making money on YouTube at that time. So he still kept working 3 jobs, valet parking cars, kept working at it. And then he realized the hole in the industry was tutorials. There weren't really that many tutorials that took a kid from, I've never stepped on a skateboard to, wow, now I can do an ollie. So he decided that he may not be the best skater in the world, but he can teach. And that if he taught a kid how to kickflip, they would never forget him. So that's what he did. He created Skateboarding Made Simple, created a whole teaching method that really built one trick upon the next, and created what we have today. It's pretty amazing, actually, to go from that total failure to the biggest skateboarding channel on YouTube.
yeah, and to do the numbers, at 40 million views a month, 50% of that on YouTube, and the rest on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I mean, those are some staggering statistics. Yeah. To that, that many impressions. So how did you take something like that and then build and go from the content to product? Where was that shift for you guys?
It was pretty gradual. When we started, Chloe was shipping T-shirts from her bedroom, but actually bringing Jeremy on was a key element of increasing that product strategy because he has a lot more of the marketing savvy than we do. So he could probably speak better to how we're transitioning from just a YouTube channel into an actual global brand with products.
Yeah, I think Jeremy, you can speak to this. I think there's so many people out there that have done a really good job at creating content, and they want to know how to make that shift to go to the next phase. So maybe you could break it down and maybe give some, not too inside of a tip. You don't want to give away all your secrets, but maybe, just some insight would be appreciated.
Actually, I'm just going to give away all the secrets here. Okay. It's really just comes down to storytelling and honestly personalities and, charisma. It really just comes down to the brand is our team, Aaron Cairo, and people can relate to us. Not everyone will be the next Nigel Houston, but a lot of people can learn to kickflip. And I feel like the reason our products have worked so well is because people can relate to us as humans first, and then they want to be a part of that. So they buy a shirt or a board or a hat, and I think it's pretty natural, honestly, the transition from a YouTuber or a YouTube skater, I put that in air quotation marks, to the global brand that we're becoming very quickly. And I think it just has to do with relatability.
Yeah, it's funny when you talk about skateboarding, it's always been, I think, safe to say within the action sports world at the top of the pyramid in terms of aesthetic and also inclusion. To gain acceptance in skateboarding. You guys have taken a very different approach where it's approachable. Is that something that you guys are conscious about?
100 million%. We just will never be the core cool guys at the skate park or girls. But we embrace everyone. And I think there's a lot more dorky 12-year-olds trying to learn to skate at the skate park than there are super cool, awesome guys who can kickflip down a 5-stair. And that's where our success lies, because our audience is actually the bigger niche of those two groups.
And what have you guys done in terms of making that step from going from product and then going into the big box stores? That's a jump that I think a lot of companies, they grapple with. They don't, they say it's not so much selling out, it's buying in. So maybe some perspective and insight on how to handle that transition and keep your story true. Yeah,
the key is who you're working with, because I have heard horror stories of people, especially YouTubers, signing up with a company that's going to license their name and their image. And when you're a YouTuber, that's what you have. You are your brand. And they didn't do it right. And they just slapped their name on a bunch of products. And sometimes licensing gets a bad name because of that. It's really key that you find a partner who respects you, who respects your story, who knows what you're trying to do. And we were really lucky with finding Semaphore. They worked with us every step of the way. When they had an idea that I was like, that is so off brand for us, they just went, fine, throw it away. We didn't set out to make Aaron Cairo plushies or bobbleheads as our first offering. We went with something, because that would have been a disaster. It would have bombed and it wouldn't have sold. So when I had that creative meeting with the toy team, I was like, I know what we need to do. We need to make fingerboards of our weird boards, and we need to put them in blind bags and make them collectible. I have a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old. I know what these kids want to buy. And it just, we sold out in 3 weeks. It was insane.
Would you say that's one of the biggest surprises that you guys have seen? I think, when you roll anything out, there's always some trepidation, but
we were terrified. We were like, this is horrible. We made a horrible mistake. And one of the fingerboard, the factory got the sizing wrong. So the board was narrower than the truck. And Aaron was like, this is the worst mistake that could have ever happened. And then I was like, you know what? The kids are going to care more that they got the iPad, not the regular fingerboard. None of our fans want the regular fingerboard. They want to skate the gummy bear grip tape board. They want the gold play button. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, I am sure. And we just turned it into, hey, guess what? The first run are limited. We'll never make that mistake again. So if you got a narrow board, that's a collector's item now.
And Jeremy, let me ask, where we're at today in the midst of COVID and with a lot of brick and mortar shutting down, where do you think people should be focusing on the marketing side and trying to get their message out there?
I'll say that we're really, really lucky to be a digital first, media first company. Our company really has a lot to do with our 15 videos a week that we put out. Because of that, as most people know that, skateboarding is seeing its biggest boom in the history of skateboarding right now for a lot of brands, including ours. And the reason for that is because people are home. They want something to do. They want to learn how to get on a skateboard. We rank #1 in the world for just about every how to kickflip, how to ollie, how to skateboard term on Google and YouTube. And it was just a natural path into those products in a COVID time to find us, relate to us, and buy from us. So because, one thing, a lot of people like core skaters can talk a lot of trash about us, and that's great. We don't care. But go to a skate park in the United States and find a skate park where some kid did not learn something from us or Aaron Cairo or know who we are, right? So we're really good at what we do. We're getting more people into skateboarding. And I feel like if anyone can learn like a lesson from that, it would be because we were there. We are online when people are asking questions and wanted to have entertainment. That's why we're winning. It's because we were there. The conversations are happening with or without you. The question is, do you want to be part of that conversation?
Right. So what's next for Braille? That's the big question. What's in the pipeline? Can you guys share a little
Too many secrets. Too many
We
secrets.
definitely have some amazing projects coming up. There is an app, and that will be being launched very shortly. And that app will definitely help us achieve our goal of teaching the world to skateboard and making it possible for any kid in any skate park around the world to get on his phone and learn the next trick that he needs to learn. So we're super excited. We've been working about 2 years creating this thing, and it's almost done.
I mean, I really love how unapologetic you guys are about, like not caring about the naysayers, because it seems like you get the good in what you're doing, right? you're getting more people to skate, and they're learning in the process.
They used to spit on Tony Hawk back in the day, and he's unapologetic about who he is too, right? So we're not comparing ourselves to Tony Hawk by any means. We're just a bunch of goobers that love to teach people how to skate, and we have fun, and we are unapologetic about it. We know where we sit in the industry, and we're very cool with people hating on us. That's fine. No problem. And we live, like, even in our mission statement, we're wanting to grow skateboarding. We want it to be as big as soccer one day. And yeah, that's definitely where we're going. We're also launching a thing called Ants, America's Next Top Skater. And it's going to be like a TV show styled, really cool event. We're going to have the winners of the online contest that's happening right now come to the Braille House, and we're going to do the whole filming, and it's going to be pretty amazing. It's going to happen early next year.
Early next year. And how, obviously, just on your social, I'm sure that's going to be announced there.
Yeah, and it is right now. We had a whole bunch of amazing skaters submit their clips, and right now you can go vote and see who's going to make it to the final 10 skaters.
Exciting stuff. Well, Jeremy, Devin, thank you so much for taking the time. Stay safe, and we look forward to America's Next Top Skater and all the good stuff that Braille is going to be getting their hands into in the next coming months. So thank you again, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.